Hey guys, this is Chris with Work to Game, and welcome to another guide about crafting. This time we're going to talk about macros. As you're leveling up crafting, whether you're doing that through leaves, or through just sheer amounts of crafting, or you're just trying to craft something that you need, either to sell or for an alt, or even for the class you're crafting for, the question is, how do I do it easily? How do I guarantee success? And how do I do that in a way where I'm not having to spend a huge amount of effort chasing down, skills and things like that, especially when you're talking about building lots of things. When I just want to craft one thing, it's no big deal, and it's actually kind of a fun game to learn what each of the abilities do and pay attention to some things to kind of get into that swing of how to maximize your high quality chances. But for now, let's just talk about how to do a macro. So I am here on my Carpenter, and let's go ahead and look in. So here we are, and actually my Carpenter is one of the classes that I'm actively leveling right now. My goal is to finish all of my classes to level cap early next year, and so I'm really pushing going into the winter here of making sure that they're at least all in kind of their 60s. This one had somehow lagged behind. He's way down at 45, and so I've got a lot of crafting to do. Now, you could go ahead and open this up, and you could quicksynth. And if you quicksynth, we could go ahead and quicksynth 2 of these, and it's really neat. You can go get a drink of water, you can go fold some laundry, you can quicksynth up to a stack of 99. But there is a chance you fail quicksynths that is much higher than your actual chance to fail. Not to mention, I'm only getting 4,800 experience towards level 46 for making this mahogany lumber. Now, if we end synthesis, and we just go in and we basic synthesize, and I just use careful synthesis, so there's no chance at failure, and I press this twice, I'm getting that same 4796, right? So that's the number to beat. Now, if we go in here and we synthesize, and we, for example, do a advanced touch, and then careful synthesis, now we have a 5% chance of it being high quality, which is a much higher sell price and a much higher value if I'm actually going to use this mahogany lumber towards crafting something else as far as getting that next thing high quality, because using high quality materials starts you off with a percentage in the high quality. You have 8,600 experience here, right? So we went from 4796 all the way up to 8,600 with little to no effort. But the problem is I had to be here. I had to be here at my computer actively playing. And I don't really feel like that, especially as we start to talk about being optimal. So I go ahead and build macros. Now, the key to macros is you want to look at your durability and your total CP available for the class you're building a macro for. So if we jump down to our systems and we build a macro, I have a few set up right now, but let's set up a brand new one. So let's call this, I don't know, guide macro. And we're going to make this for mahogany lumber. So keeping in mind that we know 2 careful syntheses automatically complete it, we can go ahead and set up careful synthesis, and then you want to do me, and then wait.3. Now that 3 is actually how long it's going to wait, and you can fine tune that if you're really worried about this, but 3 covers pretty much every ability in the game. So, sometimes people, if they're really paying attention to, oh my gosh, I'm going to push this 100 times, if I could trim 5 or 6 of these abilities down by a second, I could save myself 3 minutes. Absolutely. Feel free to drill that down. And this is not a guide on how to do the most optimal. There are plenty of Reddit threads out there that have pre-made ones that people have already worked out for exactly where you're at in the game. This is so that you understand the theory behind it, so that you can fine-tune the ones you find online to exactly where you're at, because you're going to have to update this macro all the time as your CP updates, as you update the amount of CP that you're getting from gear, as you're continually upgrading your gear as you level up, or even as you start to build it for different items that have different durabilities or different difficulties, and you notice that it starts to fail. Now you know how to go in and tweak the macros so that you can continue on and get to level cap, right? That's the goal. So with that said, we have our 2 careful synthesis, and we know that this right here would automatically do it. Now, one of the things I can peek up and do is I can go and take a look at some of my big longer macros on kind of reminding myself what I want to do first. So after you get a couple good ones set up, you don't have to totally pull this from your head every time. So I always start off with Inner Quiet. And the reason for that is that it grants a bonus to control with every increase in quality. Remember control here, if I open up my character pane, increases the amount of quality in a single synthesis step. So what this means is that every single time I use every single time I need control, right? I want quality, it's going to increase each step, and it stacks up to 11 times. So you kind of want to open your macro with that so that everything after that gets the benefit of bonusing Inner Quiet, right? So let's go ahead and put Inner Quiet in. And let's do me. Now this is one of the abilities I'm 99% sure you can slim that weight down on because it pretty much goes off instantly. There's very little animation or cast to it. But for now, we're just going to do weight 3 on everything. Now, the next thing I cast is Steady Hand 2. So, Steady Hand, right here. I have Steady Hand. The question is, does this particular character have Steady Hand 2? And actions? Because I don't always remember at what level everything unlocks. It's probably coming from one of my other classes. I don't know which one. Steady Hand 2. Perfect. Level 37. And I'm unable to do this while crafting. So for now, let's go ahead and get out of this pane so that I can actually change my cross-class abilities. Steady Hand 2, right here. Okay? So with Steady Hand 2 now there, we can drag this down onto our bar just so we, can mouse over it in the future. We can now use that. Now Steady Hand 2 is not expensive. It's only 22 CP, and we've got a total bank of 280 on this particular class with this particular gear. And that will go up as you level. So you'll notice that I name my macros things like how much CP they take so that as I move to other classes, I can keep reusing them. Weight.3. Okay? Perfect. Now, we've got Steady Hand going off, and what Steady Hand does is it increases the success rate by 20% for the next 5 steps. So you're going to want to kind of keep track of this. And keep in mind that we're working with a durability of 40. So right now, this would use exactly 40 durability. So somewhere in here, as we add more things, we're going to have to start adding a Master's Mend. So we go ahead and after... Oh, we have a Great Strides in there. What does Great Strides do? Great Strides doubles the efficiency of the next touch. Perfect. We go ahead and drop that in. All right. So with Great Strides in, what we now have is we have Inner Quiet going off, which is giving us a bonus to our control. Then we have Great Strides going off, which is going to benefit our next touch action, which is actually what increases our quality, whatever that touch action is, as long as it's within the next 3 actions. Steady Hand 2 goes off, which is increasing our success rate by 30%, which lets us be a lot ballsier with the kind of touch we want to take on. It basically guarantees that it will succeed. So we can do something like a basic touch, right? And then we actually will have used 10, 20, then 30 durability. So we want to go ahead and put in a Master's Mend. Now with that, we're ready to get started on actually doing touches. So we can go ahead and... Steady Hand is 22. Steady Hand 2 is 25. I think we're going to want to go ahead and do an advanced touch. Just kind of talking through this with you guys as I go here. All right. Now, advanced touch here has a 90% chance of succeeding. So we can actually go back and we can drop that Steady Hand, right? So if you pull a macro offline and you notice it has Steady Hand 2, well, Steady Hand 2 costs 3 additional CP, but we're already at guaranteed success on this advanced touch, so there's no reason to do more. Now, with that, let me go ahead and let's just try this, and let's watch this happen. So we press Synthesis, and we trigger this ability. So let's drop our guide macro down on our bar. All right, and so what I've forgotten here is actually that these 3 things do not use durability. So we can go ahead and we can move this Master's Mend a little further down. All right, so with that moved around, what we should have is we should have 3 things that don't affect durability, 3 things that do affect durability, and then it'll be time for a Master's Mend. Then we'll use our 2 careful synthesis, and it will succeed. So we push Synthesize, and then we push Guide Macro. Now, Inner Quiet goes off. Great Strides goes off. Steady Hand goes off. Now Advanced Touch. We should see our quality jump. Perfect. Now we have Advanced Touch again. Perfect. Now we have Advanced Touch a third time, and with almost enough durability that we broke it, it says not enough CP. And that is the importance of this. So we end up failing the craft, right? And so that's really what I'm saying here, is this is going to take some fine-tuning. So now that I've introduced you guys to macros, let me go ahead and show you guys a macro that I already worked out the kinks on. And I'm going to go ahead and push Synthesize, and I'm going to go ahead and craft this. You'll notice I labeled this Craft 40 Durability, 286 CP. So I know it already uses an amount of CP I have. I know it already uses a durability that I'm working with, right? Because different items have different durability. So on some classes, I have 2 or 3 of these macros on the bar because I keep having to craft things that have 40 durability or 70 durability or 80 durability. Whatever that number is, it doesn't matter. They can come out with items that take 120 durability or 10 durability. Well, not 10, but it doesn't matter, right? We can just build the macros to adjust. So I am going to go ahead and put in the description a link to a guide that I found that's helped me with some good basic macros, but sometimes you have to fine-tune those based on the cross-class skills that you have unlocked or the amount of CP that you found the exact gear you're equipped in is. So you may find that it leaves some CP left over and you have plenty of durability, so you'd like to actually add another touch in to kind of get that extra HQ, or you may actually want to, bring that back. You may find that, oh my gosh, that's more CP than I have, and it's missing like a big ability, like Burgott's Brow, which is huge on your high quality bump, and so if that's not going off, you want to trim something earlier that's maybe less important so that that CP sticks around. So with that, that's kind of an introduction to macros. Go ahead and click on that link in the description, and it should take you to a very good set of macro guides, and that should really get you started today. And you'll notice that the experience I've been getting from these is 8,000 and 9,000, so you're getting twice as much experience, and it really is as simple as pushing Synthesize, triggering the macro, and waiting. And then you can come back a little later and you can push Synthesize and you can macro, go away for 20-30 seconds, go grab a drink of water, go to the bathroom, then you come back and you just have to push Synthesize and all that again. The goal here is to not worry about the condition, like the good and all that, but just making sure that the craft doesn't fail and taking as much risk out of it as possible. That's why I like careful synthesis, because it takes risk out. What I want first and foremost is to guarantee the craft goes off, because if it doesn't, I lose my materials, which did cost me gil or time, and then I don't get any experience for it. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you have it calculated so that you guaranteed get the craft. Whether that means you leave some durability on the table so that you have a couple extra touches to kind of, a couple extra synthesis to get you through at the end there in case you're still operating with the ones that have a chance of failure, or whatever. Just make sure that you're finishing the craft first, and then after that, start fine-tuning that macro to try to get that high quality chance as high as possible, as consistently as possible, so that you can talk about easy, simple ways to get double XP while getting a higher chance at high qualities, which are worth way more on the market, for no extra effort on your part. The effort is on the front end. If you don't want to put any effort in at all, just use one of the macros from the links that works for you and move on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is part of a big long series where I'm going to just be introducing people to crafting. These videos are meant to stay nice and short, nice and to the point, so that you guys can get in there and try this side of Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you so much for hanging out. This has been Chris with Work to Game, and I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Brian, do you think there's anywhere they could catch us in the meantime?
Right now, Chris, we're probably on Twitch. If it's probably in the afternoon, it could be you. Sometimes you see my face. And we also found this random guy, named Kevin on the street somewhere.
I accidentally left my password written on the side of my car.
Oh man, that was really a big mistake. But guys, we really appreciate it if you guys hit the link in the description below for our Twitch page. We'd love to see you over there. And you can even subscribe to us over on Twitch.
If you're Amazon Prime, that could even be free.
Oh my gosh, what a deal.
Well, cool. Well, thanks guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.